think about it. 25, bro. Everything we discussed, we ain't even talked about the movies. Nothing. To be 25,
right,
and do all of the things that he done is crazy.
And he was writing scripts and
that's what I'm telling you.
Restaurants. It's
crazy. Planning for a restaurant.
Yeah, he had a concept for a restaurant that he wanted.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.
I can't.
I gotta take you back to Tupac too.
Can't do it.
The Me Against the World album.
It's just me against the world.
Yep.
One of my favorites. Where were you at during that time? And did you guys even, because y'all was still cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, that was still kind of in between.
Well, Me Against the World.
That was a dope album, man.
Back in elementary, I thrived on misery. Left me alone, I grew up amongst the...
He was in L.A.
Okay, and you said he was in L.A. when he did...
Strictly.
Yeah.
Yep. So he was in L.A. and I'm trying to think what was happening. At that time, I was still in the Bay, working on... I remember working on a compilation I was working on, music for my folks. And, starting my label. This is the first time starting a label with my dad.
Was a thing, yeah.
Well, not the thing.
No, was the thing for you.
Yeah, that's what was going on with me. Because I remember as I was working on it, that album came out. And when I heard it, I was like, this is the most complete album.
That's what I said.
And probably to this day, that's my favorite.
Mine too. That's why I mentioned it, to be honest. I had to get your opinion on that.
Album. Now, for whatever reason, he didn't call me to be on it.
Yeah.
But Shock produced a few tracks on that.
He
album.
did. Okay.
Right? And so I remember that. And then the Outlaws is coming into their own.
Correct. That's when they correct.
So and
Big Psych.
Big Psych, and then I'm hearing Easy Mo B doing tracks on it. So everybody that was on that record, I was happy for. And it was just a really great album to me.
Solid.
It's a solid album. Like, you could bang that thing from the top to the bottom.
Had something for the ladies on there. Can you get away?
Dear Mama.
Yeah, your Dear Mama was on there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what took him over the top. That's the
one to this day. That was one of the ones you can't get away from.
That's what took him over the top.
When I was young, me and my mama had beef. 17 years old, kicked out on the street.
Gonna be played forever.
And he was locked up.
Damn sure
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
That's why he was locked up, and he got out. No, he recorded it before, but he was locked up when it came out.
Before, and then he got locked up.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
The stuff.
Yeah,
the rape stuff.
Yeah,
right.
That was a horrible moment.
Yeah. So remember all of that stuff. It was the charges in New York, and he's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sometimes you gotta let people get through what they're getting through.
Yeah.
So I wasn't, and like we talked about before, I'm trying to get my thing together, right?
Yeah.
So he's still, it's like your cousin that live in Houston or or Kansas City.
But things going on, but you doing your thing.
Yeah, you trying to, you out here selling your dope.
But think about it though. 25, bro. Everything we discussed, we ain't even talked about the movies. Nothing. To be 25,
right,
and do all of the things that he done is crazy.
And he was writing scripts and
that's what I'm telling you.
Restaurants. It's
crazy. Planning for a restaurant.
Yeah, he had a concept for a restaurant that he wanted.
Wow.
If anybody ever get a chance, I know it travels. The Tupac Museum, you go and you see in his writing of his plans for restaurants, and he wanted his clothing line and all of that.
What kind of restaurant did he want? Do you remember?
I couldn't tell you. Like I said, I seen it on the paper.
Yeah,
and it's crazy though. For 25, come on, man.
Yeah, he
wasn't normal.
He was a tireless worker, work ethic off the chain, and he had vision, he had focus. Like he was about,
Yeah.
Right, and so it's crazy. I always tell people, coming up under shock to see laser focus in the studio and being very meticulous and knowing exactly what you want to hear and being in complete control in that environment, and then being around Pac, who just was that hungry and and focus and drive and everything like that, it's hard for me to see other people because I know what it looks like at the peak of that. So I see through it and damn near every, you know what I mean? People are like, oh, bro, I want to do. I'm like, no, you don't. It's the truth, and I'm not even disrespecting.
No, it's the real.
But I know what focus. I know what drive. I know what that looks like.
Yeah.
To want it, and whatever it takes to get it, right? And all the time I just be like,
what?
You know?
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.